Welcome to episode 175 of the Thunder Underground podcast. Trent and Jason here. And this week, we've got Shaun McCoy of Bobaflex.
Nice.
You ready for this?
Yes, I am.
Well, we're going to get into this. We're going to talk about a couple other things, play some music.
Yeah.
You know, the typical stuff.
This interview, we did it a while ago, so it's a long time coming.
Wow, that's awesome.
See what I did there? See what I did there?
Did you have that prepared?
Maybe. Actually, I just thought about it when you were talking. That's how fantastical my brain is at this point, especially.
So hopefully if Shaun or anyone from Bobaflex is listening to this, they appreciate that.
You know, I got the puns. What can I say?
Well, before we get into that, how about we tell you that we're sponsored by Vit Screen Printing and DEB Concerts.
Yeah, tell us about it.
All right. Vit Screen Printing out of Oklahoma City. Screen printer. They specialize in t-shirts, hoodies, hats, all that stuff. They do a lot of bands. They actually do our t-shirts as well. That's how we got to know them.
And they did a great job.
That's right. A lot of people have got a hold of them.
Yes.
We've got them for sale. thethunderunderground.com.
So a lot more people need to get a hold of them.
That's right. But yeah, get on Facebook and follow VITS Screen Printing. These guys will help you out. You don't have to have a band. It could be anything you need t-shirts for.
Yeah.
You know, so give them a call. Patronize them. We love them. We also love DEB Concerts.
Yes, we do.
Promoter here in Tulsa who brings in a lot of the hard rock bands from the 80s era. And currently they've got a lot of great stuff coming up. Like they're bringing back Dokken here on July 13th. And they've got Rocket Science and Doxy opening that one up.
Yep.
And then we've got, after that, we got July 26th, Steelheart coming back to Tulsa. They're playing Safari Joe's H2O Water Park. So get on their website to get those tickets. And then back at the Ideal Ballroom a couple nights later, July 28th, Beasto Blanco with Down for Five and Driver.
Yeah.
And that one's absolutely free.
So you have no excuse.
That's right. I know we'll be there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, Beasto Blanco featuring Chuck Garrick and Calico Cooper. And then we've got August 18th, Faster Pussycat with Don Jameson. And that one also features Dead Metal Society opening up.
Nice.
And then way down the line, they've got LA Guns coming back in December.
Oh, okay.
And then they've got several other things in the works.
I like it.
Yeah. Hit up. You can get these things through Ticketfly if you're out of town, but if you're in the area, it's always good to get a hold of the bands that are opening up.
Yeah.
Because they're selling these tickets as well. Helps them out. So any of these shows, hit up Down for Five, Rocket Science, Driver, Doxy, Dead Metal Society to get your tickets for these shows.
Definitely. They should get like Brittany Fox or something.
I'd be down for that.
You know, Sleazebees maybe.
You're talking everything I love, but you're trying to say it in a...
No, I'm just saying like, you know, maybe some Spread Eagle.
Fuck yeah.
Or some Slick Toxic.
Well, Spread Eagle's finally back together.
See, here we go. Jet Boy, let's do this.
Well, I don't care about Jet Boy as much.
Enough's enough?
That'd be cool.
Okay, well.
They're playing Oklahoma City at OKC City Limits on Halloween night.
That's right.
With Bullet Boys.
Yeah.
I think someone else is on that bill, but... Speaking of there, they're also bringing in, what's her name, from Vixen.
Oh, yeah, Janet Gardner, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if this is your genre, you're in the right state.
That's right.
I mean, really.
Oklahoma kind of, ever since the first 3 years of Rocklahoma, kind of became the hotbed, I guess.
Yep.
Outside of California for this kind of stuff, it seems like.
Yeah, that's the place to be.
Yeah. If you're not in California or not in Florida on one of the Monsters of Rock cruises, then
yep,
that's kind of good because you got the two coasts and then we're right in the center. So
look at that.
It's a good place to be. Nettie Trunk hosts most of these shows, so
yes,
get out there, meet him. If you see Doug Burgess, tell him thanks for bringing in all these great shows and for sponsoring us.
Exactly. Yeah. Definitely tell him that. Another
band that would fit great at the IDO is Dead Daises.
Wouldn't they?
They would.
I think so.
They're coming to Dallas.
That's something to think about.
Yeah, I think it's in September they're coming to Dallas.
Isn't it in like the middle of the fucking week though?
I think so.
That sucks.
The last couple of times they came around to Dallas or the area, it was like that, like a Tuesday or a Wednesday,
yeah,
which makes it hard.
Yeah, it does. I mean, in a couple ways, but...
But speaking of them, they got this new album called Burn It Down that came out It's now been out a couple months, and we've been meaning to talk about it, but kept getting pushed off due to other things, but here we are. If you're not familiar with Dead Daises, you need to get on the fucking horse here, because
definitely.
They've only been around a few years. Well, I don't know, a little while longer than, Karabi's been in the band, because they had the one album without him.
That's right.
But they've got, since Karabi's been in the band, there's, I think, 4 albums. And now we've got Doug Aldrich in the band as well.
Yes.
Dean Castronova.
Yes.
So this is kind of a solid lineup now that we've got going. And when you mix names like that together, it's got to come out at least somewhat good.
Yeah.
And every one of these albums is.
Oh, man, yeah. I mean, it's just balls of the wall, meat, potatoes, rock and roll.
Yeah.
Again, like we were talking about all those bands a minute ago. If you like all those bands, you're going to love this stuff. But it's also a little bit more, a little harder edge, a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it goes beyond that as well. Don't get it twisted.
But even if you like anything, because they're really steeped in classic rock as well.
Yes, that's the big.
So if you like
the big thing here, yeah.
Van Halen or Whitesnake or Aerosmith or any of that, you're gonna love this as well.
You're gonna love this. I mean, John Corabi is an amazing vocalist. His voice never gets old, and it's just it's you listen to this record and it's kind of like coming home.
That's right. It's kind of like he's been resurrected.
There you go. Opening track.
Yeah. But no, you say his voice never gets old. He's, you can say he's one of my favorite vocalists about a lot of people, but this literally is one of my top 3 probably vocalists. I love the guy, everything he's ever done. And I've said this last time we talked about one of their albums a year or 2 ago. It's like we're living in the fucking, golden age of John Corabi right now, because, we had... the Scream and the Motley Crue album and the Union albums. But then after that, there was like this big period where he was playing rhythm guitar for Rat, and he was just doing other stuff.
Acoustic stuff or whatever.
He wasn't releasing music, basically.
Yes.
So now he's back doing that. He put out that solo Unplugged album, which is amazing. And ever since then, he's had several Dead Daises albums.
Yes.
And, supposedly when this Mick Mars album comes out, he's got a couple tracks on that. So I'm extremely happy, because like you said, his voice is, one that you never get tired of.
That's right. And not to take, I mean, this isn't, the
John Corabi show.
Wank fest here. This album as a whole, this group is amazing. So, I want everyone to check this record out.
Yeah. This is definitely a hashtag I'll Kill or No Filler album. It's one that should be on a top list at the end of the year. It's got tons of great stuff. Those first 4 tracks just are perfect rock and roll.
Yeah.
And then you get into later, like the final track, Leave Me Alone, just gets stuck in your head as this album closes.
Yeah, that is.
And then right there in the middle, you've got, I know you pointed out to me as well, but Set Me Free is an amazing ballad. And it takes me back to when you think of the slower Corabi stuff, like Robin's song from Union or Drift Away from Motley Crue.
Drift Away, yeah, that's what
I mean, Father, Mother, Son, this is from the Scream.
Yeah.
He's perfect at this kind of stuff. He's perfect at everything. Because this is a John Corabi Wank Fest. I'm sorry.
I knew you'd turn it into that, Trent.
But like you said, everything. The guitar is it's just great rock and roll.
Yeah. I mean, people, this is a guy that when Motley Crue played Rocklahoma, that day, he wore his John Corabi is Motley Crue shirt.
That's right.
And you got a lot of comments on it, too.
And then I wore it again this year when Vince Neil played.
That's good.
Yeah. Got a few comments. Eddie Trunk actually commented on it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's right, he did. What did he say? I forgot what he said.
He said that's a pretty ballsy statement. He's like, I like that. But he's like, I've got no comment on it.
Because he knows. He can't say nothing, but he knows. He fucking knows.
Yeah. But Burn It Down from Dead Daises. Just yet another album from these guys. It is great. So I hope we get a chance to see them soon. Ever. I've never yet to see these guys. Seen them all separately, right? But
I know. One day.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we could go to Dallas in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's make it happen.
All right.
You got a few months of playing for it.
This is the first conversation of many conversations that lead to thinking about going, and then another conversation about, nah.
Right.
It's in the middle of the week. We're old. Fuck it.
Another fantastic album that came out just a couple weeks ago is the new EP from Ian Moore.
Yes. It's called Toronto, and this thing is fucking great.
It is. It's pretty much perfect. Isn't that what you said? Didn't you write that on Facebook? 19 minutes of
perfect rock and roll.
Or 19 minutes of genius. Is what
genius. 19 minutes of genius. Hashtag 19 minutes of genius. Because that's what this is. You know, Ian Moore, who has been on this podcast before.
That's right.
I don't guess that you would call him our usual fare for what we usually talk about on this show.
Right. But
who cares? Because he's so fucking good. And, you know, anybody that doesn't know, you know, he started out, 25 years ago was kind of the blues rock, guitar slinger guy. And he's morphed into so many different things. I don't know. He's just done rock. You can say some of it sounds alternative. Some of it sounds indie. Some of it's folk. I mean, the guy does anything.
Yeah.
And, you never know what you're going to get from album to album. And, this one, he's really amped it up, and I think this is a great EP. And, I don't know that, if you're a big Faster Pussycat fan, if you're going to like Ian Moore.
Hey, I love them both.
Yeah. Or if you're,
it's possible.
If you're, if you're a big, Opeth fan, if you're going to like Ian Moore.
It's possible.
It is possible though, but this is just, I know it sounds fucking cliche, but it's just good rock and roll. It's rock and roll.
Yeah.
This EP is what this is. So, you got to know the first track is just fucking holy shit.
Yeah, that's when I hit play on this, I was just like, what? Because
Yes.
I knew this was going to be good because it's Ian Moore. I like everything he's ever done. But like you said, there's stuff, all different elements going on, and some stuff sticks with you more than others do. But I'll be straight up honest. This EP is my favorite thing he's done since And All the Colors.
Really?
That's how much I fucking love this thing.
Now that's bold.
That's a big statement, I know, because there's great stuff after that. Ian Moore's got the green grass. Right?
Yes, I think I think for me,
I didn't say it's his best, maybe not to other people. I'm just saying it's my favorite.
I don't know. I kind of this sounds stupid maybe, but I kind of separate the first two albums a little bit. Like maybe that's kind of a different guy.
Yeah.
So Modern Day Folklore is like a masterpiece, right?
Right.
But I think it's different from all the stuff after it.
What, And All the Colors and on?
And on. I think that's a whole different kind of ball game.
Yeah.
So El Sonido Nuevo for me is like his best one out of all that. That is like just a fucking badass record. But we're talking about the new EP. Right. How do we get on this stuff?
Hey, I just made a random statement.
Yes, true. Yeah.
But the thing about this album is like you hear music, say you're driving down the road or you're playing your own music or whatever, and you hear something from 28 years ago or 15 years ago and it takes you back to something.
Yes.
Every music does that for everybody, but this album, first time listening to it, every song I felt that way.
Yeah.
And that's when you know something's fucking great.
Yeah.
Like every song I felt like it reminded me of something that doesn't exist because this song hadn't existed in my head before that moment.
True. It's like when you get some kind of like familiarity.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's new. I get that. There's something special in that, I think. And it's not that we're like, steeped in nostalgia. That's not what I think. That's not what I'm talking about. I don't think you're talking about. It's just, I understand that vibe, and that's really cool, And
there's different stuff going on here too. Yeah. Like you said, You Gotta Know there's almost a 70s psychedelic feel to it.
Yeah.
But it's real light because then it also has a lot of pop feel to it as well.
Yeah.
And people can't mix that kind of stuff together and make it work real well.
That's right.
Unless you're Ian Moore.
And at the end, he's kind of screaming and stuff. And I don't know if I've ever heard him do that kind of shit,
Yeah.
And, so that's 50 years old and he's still pushing himself and doing shit he hasn't done. I love that.
Yeah. But then you just get into it, Lords of Levy, Looking for the Sound, that's just classic Ian Moore to me.
Yeah, it is. I think 1,000 Blackbirds and Satellite really have the the songwriting that we've come to know from him, you know, in the last few records.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed those songs too.
One only track we hadn't mentioned is what you mentioned that this album is. It's just rock and roll.
That's right. That's right.
And that's the first song I heard because that actually was released, I think, before the album came out. And that's just amazing as well.
I heard You Gotta Know, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago.
Oh,
they
really?
released a video for it.
Oh, well, then I'm totally out of the loop.
Yeah, that's okay.
They must have released both of them because I swear I heard rock and roll like a week or two before.
Oh, well, you probably
But that was
did.
just a few weeks ago because this
Yeah.
album just came out, what, June 1st? Or maybe it was May 24th or whatever. But so, yeah. Ian Moore, Toronto.
Go check it out, people.
Yeah. We can't promise you'll love it because we don't know what kind of music you love,
Yes.
but we can promise that you'll at least appreciate it.
That's right. That's right.
All right, so let's play some music.
Okay.
We got a band out of Brooklyn, New York called The Broken Company, and this song is called Stuck in the Way.
Motherfucker living in my head, doing little demon, you're sleeping in my
Stuck in the Way from the Broken Company. That's a band out of Brooklyn, New York. That's some badass metal right there.
Yes, it is.
Very glad to have them on here. You know, it's got a lot of traditional metal sounds like your Panteras or whatever, but then it's also got a lot of that almost industrial feel, but it doesn't have industrial elements.
I get that.
Kind of like you mentioned, you know, it's got even some new metal elements to it. You know, not the traditional new metal, the harder stuff like Mudvayne or Slipknot or whatever. You know?
Yeah. I like good shit. But then it's like catchy too.
Yeah.
You know, so
it's got a lot of melody in the chorus.
Yes.
So Facebook says they've got an EP coming out this year, so be on the lookout for that.
Nice.
Look them up, The Broken Company. All right, before we get into this interview, something that came out the other day. Adam Newell from Scattered Hamlet is going to be playing guitar for Dee Snider.
No shit.
No shit.
No fucking shit. How did that happen?
I don't know. That's just what he posted on Facebook.
Holy fuck.
He's playing 2 dates for him, so I that makes me assume that Dee Snider is like just using area people.
Really?
Or something, because I can't remember what the dates. They were like August. It's 2 dates in August.
Yeah.
Like 2 weekends. One of them's like at a festival that Dee Snider's headlining.
Really?
With like Hammerfall, Dirk Schneider, Steel Panther, and a bunch of other people.
Shit.
And then the other one I think is just a Dee Snider date.
Wow.
But Adam Newell.
Fuck yeah, congratulations,
our buddy from
man.
Scattered Hamlet.
Yeah, definitely.
He's going to be playing that new kick-ass stuff that Dee Snider's got coming out in July, and then, of course, all the Twister classics, I'm sure.
Yeah. Hey, he can do it, man. That guy can rage on the guitar.
Yeah.
Where are the shows at?
They're northeast somewhere.
That's awesome.
That's what kind of made me think it was like a regional thing,
Yeah.
where he was grabbing guys for the dates or something. I don't know what other dates he's got going, but
and that's cool.
Maybe that's the only ones, and maybe we'll see Adam Newell.
I dig that.
Playing Europe with Dee Snider soon.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
You know he'd like that.
Yeah. But yeah. So now let's get into this.
Yes.
Shaun McCoy of Bobaflex. Guitarist and sometimes singer.
Yes.
Like you said, it's been a little while, not too long, a little over a month now. Early May, we got the chance to see him at the Vanguard here in Tulsa. They had Driver opening up for him.
Yeah, it's a great show.
Yeah, they had another band called Trip 6 out of Chicago that was really badass that I still need to look more into because I really liked what I saw from them. And Driver, I mean, we didn't really ever talk about this show. Driver, that was the one where Jude couldn't play because he was sick.
Yes.
And that was like their only show they've ever done with one guitarist.
Yeah.
And it still came off really well.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, being someone that's seen him a bunch, you can tell, you know, when he was playing solos that something, you know, that underlying bed wasn't there. But if you had never seen him, it still sounds perfect because Nathan and Jude are both amazing guitarists.
That's right.
And they can make this work.
Yeah, they made it work. You know, the show must go on. So there you go.
Yeah. But then Bobaflex, great live band. I don't think I had seen them live before this.
No, I hadn't either.
Forgot, but
I was really pleased. They put on a great show.
Yeah, their newest album, Eloquent Demons, came out in 2017. Fantastic album.
Oh yeah.
We talked about that, and you know, of course, if that's any indication of, you know, the last couple albums, the way they're heading, the next album should be kick-ass as well.
Definitely.
But yeah, I think we've wasted 5 weeks now, so let's
get into
this. Yeah. Here's Shaun McCoy from Bobaflex. Day Drinker Tour is about to come to an end. How's this run been so far?
Been awesome, man. It's been killer. Had a good one. More sold out shows I think we've ever had in our career. So,
think that's attributed to this new album, or is it just longevity?
It's longevity. It's a little bit of everything, but the album definitely pushed it over the edge, man. The Midwest is always our best markets. And Wisconsin was just insane, and we just had nothing but good shows through there, man. It was excellent.
And now that Eloquent Demons has been out for a while, I mean, how do you look at it now as opposed to when it came out or when you were making it? Has it changed for you at all?
It's living up to our expectations. It's been doing great, man. I mean, we're getting ready to do our third video in June for Off With Your Head.
Yeah.
And we got big expectations for that, man. We're hoping that goes well. And we rented a castle and all that, and got Renaissance people and all that. So, yeah, it's just been going great, man. We knew we did something special. It's been our favorite album we've written in years. So.
You guys use the same directors on all the videos, or?
No, we go back and forth. I've seen several guys, man. But Keith Williams, a good friend of ours, doing the Off With Your Head video, and he did Long Time Coming. And Paul Cunningham did Lights Out, man. And he's done several videos of ours, man. So it's going well. And another guy named AJ Satterfield's done a few, man. So we've got about 3 go-tos. Till Martin Scorsese wants to do one.
Right.
You never know.
I mean, you never know.
Well, 8 albums in, how do you guys approach things now differently than you did 15, 17 years ago?
Now it's just a thing that has to happen by a certain date, and this one came together a little faster than we wanted, and management really wanted us to do a show at the Newport, so we didn't have the album be done by August. And they already set up the CD release show at a big venue, and billboards and TV advertising was already ready to go, so we had to get it done. So we just kind of came together. The process is just simpler. We know what works best for us now. We don't sit around waiting on top of a mountain like Moses and hoping the lightning strikes and stone tablets show up with songs. I did that a little bit earlier in our career. Again, nothing's coming to me. I need a vision. And now we just kind of get together and keep pushing and see what happens in a small room, then get in the rehearsal space, and that seems to work the best.
Well, I notice, you guys have been doing steady like every 2 years. That's a great schedule to be on. It keeps you out there.
Absolutely. In this day and age where, we're not a pop artist or nearly that big, where Rihanna seems like she's never stopped being on someone else's song. I'm like, in the digital age, you will be forgotten just like that, unless you're Tool or Guns N' Roses. Then you won't be forgotten. But just for the rest of us mere mortals, you got to stay in it. You got to keep putting stuff out, or people just, there's just too much out there for attention.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, you guys are with Thermal Entertainment now, right? Is that more hands off? Do you guys have freedom to do whatever you want, basically?
Pretty much, but we just it's like a partnership. Kyle Favors is a really good guy, man, and a friend before we even partnered up with him, and it just gives us more backup, and we definitely work with each other and talk with each other before we make a real decision, but it's been a great partnership. I think he's really helped out getting the record out there and with promotions, and this one's definitely doing a lot better than anything that moves, so we need a little extra help on this album, and he was there for us, man.
Well, you mentioned the digital age. When you guys started was kind of the whole beginning of that, so do you think it's easier now on your end, or harder than it was?
Harder. Definitely, it sucks seeing the age of the CD die. I remember CDs being a way more important part of your merch, and it's just kind of it's cool. I mean, a lot of people, download Spotify, iTunes, which is all fine with us. We get paid from all that. But it's a little bit of a bummer at shows that the CD's not as important as it was. Mm-hmm. Financial, anyway. You got to have them, but they're not the powerhouse. They're not the focus like, it used to be 10, 15 years ago. And vinyl, we're selling more vinyl than we are CDs now, man. So that's kind of exciting. And so we're definitely going back and getting older records on vinyl. And this vinyl thing I thought it was a fad, but it's not going away. And it's probably not going to be the main thing again, but it's rivaling. I think it actually surpassed CD sales. There's some crazy stat that it's like it just keeps growing in popularity, so we'll see. But that's exciting, man. And we charge $25 to $30, so that's really exciting. That's the best part for me.
People don't mind paying $25 for vinyl. I don't.
No, because you get that. I got some at home too. I got started my collection, and it's just it's cool to put the record on, the process of it, and then the artwork, and you feel like you got a real piece of the band, a real true emblem, because I remember in the CD days, before this vinyl craze hit, you had to think about your album cover. If it was too articulate or the artwork wasn't, wow, that won't look good on a small CD case. And now the vinyl, big, elaborate, intricate artwork is back in.
Yeah. So, you mentioned a minute ago, iTunes, Spotify, you're okay with all that. When that first hit and we all knew that was going to be a thing, was it hard to give up to that, or you just kind of said, hey,
we were on a record label, TVT, when that happened, and so we didn't know that. We knew it was the main thing, but we didn't know the significance. And when Charlatans Web hit, we had an investor, and man, iTunes just worked out great for us. It was around 2013, 14, 12, around there that servers started. If you got caught illegally downloading music or movies 3 times, you were done off that server for life, and they could catch you. And that really simplified things for people who don't want to sit there and score to the internet or get everything for free. At the time, they'd rather play $1 and have their favorite song than be Mr. Savvy. I've got every movie ever made. And I knew guys like that, and they became fewer and far between. I mean, LimeWire and all that stuff went away. And the iPhone, I think, simplified purchasing it. I know I got drunk several times and ordered the Waylon Jennings box set and stuff like that. At 2 in the morning, I'm like, wait a second, I didn't need all the songs. One phone click away. So that really helped, man. So once we saw, monetary value and things were going well on Charlatans Web, I'm like, okay, this is working. And then streaming took over. It was big in 2013, 14, but Spotify was just taking off, and now it's, I guess Apple saying iTunes is going to be gone at some point. It's all going to be streaming except for Amazon. There's going to be some other download sites like that, but for the most part, I hate to see iTunes go, man. It's still our bread and butter. We still make more money off that than anything.
On the Hey You cover, as an artist, how do you go about approaching something like that of a band that so many people hold in such high regard?
We just wanted to do, it was really a tribute of my brother and Tommy Johnson's, our drummer. They'd just been fans since they were kids, so it was really about, hey, let's do a version of it. We didn't want to really go too crazy and change it. They're huge Pink Floyd fans, so we kind of kept it to our style, but we didn't want to, do the Disturbed thing and completely do a wild version of it. And that was their department. And I said, sure, man. And once they did the demo of it, it just sounded so good. I'm like, I'm in, man. And but I think we've done our share of 70s laid-back covers. It feels like we got a couple on our list. I think it's time we do, I don't know, maybe a Guns N' Roses song or, but, I'm the last of the cover guy. So it's always got to be something special for us to pick out, man. And everybody's got to agree on it, and sometimes that's not so easy.
Well, I noticed on the video, it seemed like it was obviously like I don't know what the right word is, kind of a tribute to Pompeii. Mm-hmm. Was that the director's idea or your brother's idea?
That was my brother's idea. Him and Tommy loved that video since they were like 14, man. So that was all them, and big fans of that. And I remember seeing them wear it out on VHS when I was a kid. So I saw it all come together. Like, okay, I'm part of this. This is cool, man.
Well, speaking of your brother, I mean, what's that like, being in the band this long? Obviously, it's not like Chris and Rich Robinson where you guys are breaking up all the time. So
no, we occasionally have our disagreements, but not very often. We usually pretty much have each other's backs, and we just get along really well. We don't have the classic brother thing, like where there's constant conflict, and I mean, we have our issues here and there, but not very often, man. It's pretty laid back. Get along since we were kids, man.
That's good. So have you guys been looking towards new material or the new album?
Already, yeah. Oh, yeah. We try to go a month on, month off if we can, or 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off. So when we're off, we're already started the process of writing. And yep, it's in a skeletal process right now, but it's getting there already, man. So I'm hoping next year sometime we'll probably put out the first single late spring, maybe summer, and start the process all over again, man. So have to. It's our living, sir.
Yeah.
We're not perfect circle. We can't wait 7 years between or Tool. I'm like, no, better put another one out. The electric bill will be off. So
yeah, Metallica every 8 years or some shit.
Yeah, when you sold 150 million albums, you can take your time, which is cool. But and it kind of keeps you on your toes and cranking out a body of work. A lot of bands don't stay together long enough to put that many albums out, so we're pretty proud of that.
Probably kind of answered the same question, but the constant touring thing, like it seems like you guys are always on the road. Is that I mean, the same thing you just said about with the keeping albums coming.
Yeah,
because it's kind of your bread and butter.
Yeah, it's we wouldn't make a living without touring, man. So that's where it's at, and it's a tough time in America. Clubs are smaller. There's fewer and far between rock clubs. With YouTube and stuff, concert attendance is not what it used to be. So for us to be able to tour and take other bands out, man, people realize it's a real rarity. I mean, it's new bands. I mean, will practically give you their mom for you to take them out because it's almost impossible for a new up-and-coming band to get out and tour like it was in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. So without label support, if you're a baby band, man, I wouldn't even know what to tell you in this day and age. So the fact that we're able to do it, and we just did the thermal thing, but independently, we don't need anybody. We just can go out and tour. I mean, that's really rare these days if you're not like, an arena rock band. Mm-hmm. So we feel really lucky that we are able to do that and then can make a living. So we take advantage of it and try not to oversaturate. We try to do each part of the country once and maybe a few parts twice. And then we're going to expand to Canada. We've been there in the past, but we can hit every nook and cranny in America in about a year without going crazy.
I saw on Twitter recently you guys posted you went to Third Man Records and recorded 3 singles for vinyl.
Yep.
Like, are those all new, or are they?
No, they're just different versions of Off With Your Head, and that was Jimmy, our bass player's. That was his baby. I'd never heard anything about it. He explained it to me. I go, sure, we'll stop it. Nashville. It sounds cool. And I didn't realize how neat it was, and I think Neil Young did a whole album in that booth, and it was pretty wild, man. And Nashville's a different city. I mean, music alive there. That in Austin, Texas. So we enjoy going to Nashville, and I just can't believe something like that exists and that it's working there. I'm like, okay, there's some hope there for the future.
Yeah, definitely.
What's the timetable on that, or do you guys know yet?
Well, we don't. We might be putting it out with a single. You might be able to get it on iTunes and Spotify. Probably, I'd say around July, August. It'll come out with the single, but it's just different versions of Off With Your Head done, like, stripped down completely.
Gotcha. Well, I saw in an interview that you said your favorite comic book was Daredevil.
Yes.
What do you think of the Netflix series?
Greatest thing that ever happened to me. I mean, they just nailed the character and the right vibe, and it's part Frank Miller, it's got John Romita Jr.'s vibe to the feel of the character. They just nailed it on every front. I cannot wait for season 3. Hopefully they bring Bullseye in. Jason Statham was supposed to play him, but it leaked, and it messed up their negotiations, and then they wanted more money once that hype hit the internet. So that was kind of a bummer, but I'm just blown away by Daredevil. I've watched both seasons 3 or 4 times, man. I love it, man.
Yeah, that second season, how it led into the Punisher series.
Perfect.
Was pretty amazing, I thought.
Perfect, man.
I got to ask a goofy question, but I saw on your Facebook your Diet Rite endorsement. Where did that come from? Because as a chubby kid growing up, that's all those kind of soda I could drink. So it was hilarious to see that.
I just
had to ask.
It was at the gym, fun joke. I thought I'm just gonna. I always remember Diet Rite used to be, very popular. And what happened to Diet Rite? I thought about it. Was at the gym. I'm just gonna get on the net and just claim that Diet Rite's our new sponsor.
Yes.
And I found perfect old pictures of Diet Rite from the 80s. And Lee Majors used to be like a spokesperson for Diet Rite. And I used to know the lyrics of the songs. It was so goofy. Everybody's got it, Diet Rite Cola. And I thought this would be hilarious because a lot of people are hitting me up. I go, kudos on that. And I'm like, I'm just kidding, man. We're not sponsored by Diet Rite.
They might still do it, though. You never know.
You don't see Diet Rite. I mean, I see it a little bit. It's barely there. It's not what the mega force that it was in the 80s and early 90s. Yeah. Man, it was big stuff. I was like, I'd like to see a documentary on what went wrong. How did Diet Rite lose their foothold?
Yeah, I remember at that one point where they started bringing out like the pink grapefruit and all those other flavors. That's probably when they lost it. I don't know. I
would say that was a bad idea. I mean, that stuff works there's only a few very dangerous ghettos in America. And if I go to a gas station, if there's not bulletproof glass, if I look and there's like peach, was it peach Mountain Dew? There were flavors of mainstream sodas that I had never seen anywhere in America, and I tour everywhere I go. I had never seen that flavor of Mountain Dew, or was it Mountain Dew, or was it? There was some major cola that was peach. I'm like, I've never seen that. What the hell are we? We're going to die. And maybe that's where Diet Rite thrives, is in like the most dangerous section of California, like in Compton or something.
Yes.
Yeah, you could tell in the Facebook post that half the people knew it was a joke and half the people thought you were serious.
Oh, yeah. Those are the best.
But another thing I saw in an interview once, you mentioned your dad played bluegrass.
Mm-hmm.
Was that ever a thing for you guys? Or
yeah,
was it
I mean,
always
we
rock
never
and roll?
played bluegrass. We were into rock and all that stuff, but him jamming out and just the guitar being around and other musicians being around, that definitely was the first influence to kind of put the bug in everyone's brain.
Well, what led it to from there to the heavier stuff? Once I started breaking up with sports, my dad played music, and then I just got into rock, and he traded all his bluegrass stuff in for rock guitars and amps, and it was just, MTV era hit and bands as I saw Guns N' Roses and Queen and Motley Crue and all those bands in 7th and 8th grade and 6th grade. It was just over. He was kind of done with it. He was out of jamming with other bluegrass musicians, so he just took what he had, and he had some expensive stuff, and said, all right, well, let's do this electric guitar thing, and taught us how to tune guitars, and here I am.
Nice.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate your time.
No problem, man. I appreciate the interview.
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem, man. You guys coming out tonight?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, definitely.
Cool.
We'll be there.
There you go, Shaun McCoy of Bobaflex. Big thank you to Doug Weber of Thermal Entertainment for setting that up. And, of course, thank you to Shaun for taking the time to talk to us when he was in Tulsa.
That's right.
Yeah, pretty inviting, open guy, good to talk to.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about all kinds of stuff. You even talked about Diet Rite for the first time on the podcast.
How fucking awesome is that?
That is.
Yeah, I thought I was the only one that hadn't knew anything about it. That's the only thing my mom would let me drink when I was little.
Yeah.
I felt a kindred spirit there.
So maybe we should try to get Diet Rite to sponsor this podcast as well.
Probably. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I mean, if you like drinking turpentine, but...
Anything's worth a shot.
Yeah, true.
Well, yeah, once again, check out Bobaflex's most recent album, Eloquent Demons. Like he talked about in this, sometime, I think in July, they should have the single out where they're going to release the vinyl singles that they recorded at Jack White's studio, Third Man Records.
Awesome.
And then, like you talked about, new music should be coming down the line here soon, probably later this year, early next year.
That's right.
But yeah, in the meantime, if this is your first time listening, we appreciate it. If you're a long time listener, obviously we appreciate that as well.
We appreciate it all.
Yeah. So if you appreciate us, go to patreon.com, search Thunder Underground, send us a couple bucks. It could be $2, it could be $28. We don't care.
We greatly appreciate it.
We appreciate everything. There's, of course, when you do that as well, there's different levels where you can, get t-shirts and magnets and all kinds of great shit. Yeah. So do that. We appreciate it. Patreon.com. And then also go back to all the previous episodes. There's 174 of them. There was a ton where we just talked. The last one was us doing our Rocklahoma review. And then we recently had on Tommy Victor from Prong.
Yes.
That was a huge one for both of us.
That was amazing.
Another huge one for both of us was Biff Byford of Saxon.
Yes.
As longtime fans of them, longtime fans of Damon Johnson. He was on here with Ricky Warwick.
Black Star Riders.
Yeah. Also in Thin Lizzy.
Yes.
Nowadays, and of course, Brother Kane in the past.
That's right.
And then we've had on guys from Corrosion and Conformity, Seven Dust. We talked about Seven Dust's recent album on the last podcast.
And how good it was.
That's right. We've had on Gene Simmons of Kiss, Bruce Kulick, formerly of Kiss. We've had on guys from Death Angel, King, The Sword.
Megadeth.
That's right.
Dave Elfson.
Yeah, and Chris Broderick, formerly
yes.
Act of Defiance.
That's right.
Is his current band. They're badass. The list is pretty long, people.
Yeah.
You like stuff out of Sweden? We've had on Avatar.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Johannes from Avatar. We've had on Royal Republic. The whole band.
Yes, the whole band. Truck Fighters.
Yeah. Who unfortunately are on a extended hiatus, but
Well,
maybe we'll see him back one day.
yeah, you never know.
Yeah,
So, I mean, we got the Swedes.
that's right. And we also had Ian Hogland from Europe,
See? Bam.
from the band Europe, not just from the continent.
That's right.
So, yeah, with that statement, this should be the final countdown to the end of this podcast. Sorry.
The end of this episode, not the end of the podcast.
Well, this podcast episode, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Didn't want to throw out any,
Weird vibes.
yeah, cryptic messages.
Yeah. But yeah, thethunderunderground.com. You can find everything there. Follow us on all the social medias. Wherever you listen to this, like it, comment on it. Give us a review if it's iTunes or TuneIn or any of that stuff. And we appreciate it. All right. Until next time.
Thunder Underground, y'all.